Hi everyone, thanks for watching. I'm going to get this started by reading from the 11th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew, where Jesus says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." And that's how Jesus concludes a pretty major, significant, heavy sermon that he gives. He starts off by answering a question from John the Baptist, where John the Baptist is going through this very difficult time at the end of his life, and he seems to be doubting a little bit about who Jesus is, and Jesus answers him. Then he goes on and tells people about the significance and greatness of John, and he warns people of the region of Galilee about the punishment and judgment that they are facing for rejecting Jesus. Remember, he is in this time when the end of their world, their age, is coming very, very soon. It's like, at this point, it's like about 40 years away, more or less, before the Jewish-Roman war that just ends everything. And Jesus is urging people to believe what he's telling them and move on into the next phase of God's plan for mankind. And we face that, well, really every generation of Christians can take all that to heart, us too, of course, very much, as we await the second coming of Jesus and the end of this age, and we want to be part of his kingdom, just like people back then either did believe in Jesus or didn't believe in Jesus. And the bad things that happen in the world were going to happen one way or the other, but your place in God's plan could be determined by how you react to the words of Jesus. And I want to emphasize these last few verses, the ones I just read, about coming to Jesus, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, I will give you rest, in answer to the question of what do you need to do to be a Christian. And I think this really helps sum it up. It is an easy and simple thing, because Jesus' commandments are very basic. They deal with being humble, being low, being forgiving, and depending on God. It actually is quite breathtaking to read the 5th, 6th, and 7th chapters of Matthew, the Sermon on the Mount, so-called. Just the real astonishing simplicity and beauty of Jesus' commandments. What does it take to be a disciple, a follower of Jesus, to be a Christian? Well, he tells us things like to be like the lilies of the field, to be like the birds, to not worry about possessions or even food, just let the Father take care of us. He tells us to don't pray until you've forgiven anyone who you are holding things against. If you read those words, take them in, let them change you, I think you're going to find yourselves living a very simple life, with not a lot of complexities in your mind. You're probably going to be quite free from anxieties, depressions. I know when I suffer those kinds of things, I wonder, what am I doing? How am I getting away from Jesus' commandments? And it's usually pretty easy to figure out, to pinpoint the cause of that. The things I'm laying on myself, the burdens I'm taking on that Jesus does not lay on us, or the burdens I'm laying on other people and being judgmental of them, that Jesus isn't laying on them, and he certainly has not told me to do that. And those kinds of things, they mess with our minds, they mess with my mind, and that's a heavy burden to take. Jesus' burden is easy and light, because he is meek and lowly in heart, and we want to be that way. So if you're a new Christian, or anywhere along your life of faith, come to Jesus. He will give you rest. Take his yoke upon you and learn of him. Obey his commandments. Learn about Jesus. Read the Gospels. then read them again, then read them again, then read them again, and you're going to keep on learning about Jesus the more you do that, and the more that you fellowship with other believers and you implement Jesus's commandments in your life. It's being a Christian is not difficult. It's not hard. It is easy. I know a lot of preachers like to talk about how it's not easy to be a Christian. It's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging. Well, maybe it is. If we get in our own way, if we get in the Lord's way, if we get in the way of what Jesus is trying to do, then yeah, maybe it is a little bit difficult. But Jesus' plan for us is very easy. It is light. It is not laborious. There's not a lot you have to do. If you just kind of let go of the world, let go of your burdens, let go of your sins, let go of holding on to other people's sins. That's such a weight we take on ourselves, where we're holding people's sins against them. If we just can let go of that and learn about Jesus, I think we'll find things are very pleasant, very simple, and there's just a real beauty in knowing Jesus and being part of his kingdom. So if you're a new Christian and wondering what to do, learn about Jesus, learn about his commandments, his nature, and how you can be like him. I think you're going to find that it's even easier than you think.